Hello and welcome on Thomas Geiger Car. Today with the new BMW 8 Series, the long-awaited successor of the 6 Series. I'm here at the Circuito Estoril, the Formula 1 racetrack close to Lisbon, and I'm here for a special reason. Because BMW is claiming the 8 Series is closer to a sports car than any other vehicle in the lineup. More like the legendary M1 than the old 8 Series. Closer to a Porsche 911 than a Mercedes S-Class Coupé. If this car really is a true sports car, or if there's still a rest of luxury in it, that's what we're gonna figure out on our first test drive here on Thomas Geiger Car. For the world market, the BMW 8 Series will only get one engine for the start. A proper V8 engine of 4.4 liters powering the M850i with tiny 530 horsepower and impressive 750 Newton meters of peak torque. That is enough to compete with Porsche 911 or Mercedes AMG GT, at least in the sprint, because it only takes 3.7 seconds from 0 to 100. The car will have its problems when it goes to full throttle. Not that there is a lack of power, but there is an electronic limit. Not more than 250 kilometers per hour is possible as a top speed. Way enough for everyday cruising, but not enough to keep up with the other German competitors. But that problem will be solved soon, because BMW is already working on an M8, and I'll guess this car will go way beyond 300 kilometers per hour. And yes, that's not all. For the Europeans, there will also be a diesel, the 840D X-Drive, also fitted with all-wheel drive as a standard, with a 6-cylinder of 320 horsepower. And there will definitely be a 6-cylinder petrol engine as well, 840i, 340 horsepower, I guess. What you may not expect is the plug-in hybrid. It might fit into the vehicle since it fits into 5 Series and 7 Series, but the niche is just too small for that derivative. Driving the 8 Series on a curvy country road is really impressive, because the car feels agile and handy and nimble as I would not have expected it for a vehicle of almost 5 meters and nearly 2 tons. It's not a surprise that the car is fast on a racetrack or on a long straight. We're having 530 horsepower out of a big V8 turbo engine. But going around the corners that quick and that easy, that is really impressive. For that, BMW has done quite a lot of work. We have an extremely sharp and precise steering. We have an all-wheel drive that is focusing on the back. We have an electronic diff lock in the back. And we have the rear wheel steering that reduces the turning circle quite a bit. That's the reason why the 8 Series almost feels like a 4 Series if you go around the corners. I really have my problems making up my mind with the interior of the 8 Series. On the one hand, it is beautifully crafted, very luxurious, very functional, everything well laid out, no doubt about that. On the other hand, it is somehow boring. We know it so much from X5, X7, 5 Series. A car like that could have used a new approach, some new material. Even the fancy glass decors on the gear lever, on the iDrive controller, on the start button or on the control for the radio are well known. Same as the digital instruments or the big touchscreen. So no new stuff for such a new model, that is somehow a pity. As tempting as the 8 Series might be for the driver and the passenger, for the rear seat there is no temptation at all. First you have to make your way through a very narrow door, then you have to squeeze your feet into a tiny hole behind the back seat, and then you have to hope that the passenger in front of you is polite enough and small enough not to break your legs. Knee room is very limited, headroom is very limited, and there's also not much to see. But BMW has a solution for that. Next year there will come an 8 Series convertible, and headroom shouldn't be any problem anymore. And after that, there is also an 8 Series Grand Coupé in the pipeline, with 4 doors for easy getting in and getting out. The design of the 8 Series for me is real eye candy, or if you allow me to say, car porn at its best, because the car looks powerful and muscular out of every angle you see it. The front is very aggressive, and if you see that front in your rearview mirror, you know you better move aside. The silhouette is sleek, sharp, tensioned, and the back is just wide and powerful. It's like you show somebody your middle finger, but you put it in a satin glove. Thank you for joining me on that first test ride with the new BMW 8 Series, a car that is definitely an interesting addition in the lineup of BMW, because it finally gets a bit of sports car back into the luxury portfolio out of Munich. It might not be as comfortable and as luxurious as a Mercedes S-Class Coupe, and it's definitely not as sharp and as sporty as a Porsche 911, but it's the perfect blend out of both worlds. But the problem with it, you have to pay a price for it. It's also one of the most expensive BMWs you can get. Thank you, tschüsschen, and bye-bye.